What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Team Chat Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Buongiorno.
And through the power of the internet, our good friend, Fuchsia Rascal.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, there it goes. Okay, sorry. It sounded like you do.
I was like right as we start.
We're there. Thank you so much for joining us, Fuchsia. It's really great to have you on. We're super excited to talk to you about streaming and everything today and kind of building a streaming community. So let me do the intro real quick and then we'll jump back right to you. But thanks everybody for joining us on this episode of Team Chat Podcast, a weekly video game show where we talk about video games, the ones we love, the ones we hate, and everything in between, like Twitch streaming and how you do it. New episodes come out Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Central Time, and you can listen to those on podcast services around the World Wide Web, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and others. You can also watch a video version on YouTube of each episode. Find us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have a Discord server that you can join. Links for all that are in the description below. And finally, if you're really enjoying and loving what we're creating for you each and every week, head over to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And in return, we'll give you cool perks like getting the episodes early before the general Tuesday release and access to a private channel on our Discord server, the Rogues Gallery. And if you don't want to support us on Patreon, that's totally fine. We totally get it. But we would still really love it if you would give us a subscribe or a review or anything like that over on YouTube, iTunes, all that jazz. We really appreciate it. And a big thank you to all of our current patrons. We love you all.
Like me.
Like Fuchsia.
Yeah, that's right.
She's one of our fine patrons.
This show is pay to play. That's why she's here. I've been telling people since day one.
Gotta spin that dough.
And they didn't believe me.
But look where it got Fuchsia.
Look where it got Fuchsia. Not that she has a glowing personality and a thriving stream of her own. No. It's just that she pays us.
She's done an incredible amount of great work on streaming.
$5 every
It's
month.
that $5.
So that's how at least I got acquainted with Fuchsia and got to know Fuchsia is through that. Mogan knew her before.
I have had many years of wonderful friendship over the internet and at least once in person with Fuchsia.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
You were one of the first people that I kind of became frenemies with, I would say, in the Splatoon community, because I don't know if you've ever played against her in Splatoon.
I have not. I have not been on the receiving end of that beatdown.
Quite a soul-crushing experience. I mean, she's so like glowing and sunny, and then you get in game with her and you're like, wow, you really hate me, don't you? Where's all this aggression coming from? It's just pure skill, and she can't help it. But yeah, so we've known each
taps.
other. Just love taps. Just sad, tear-inducing love taps. But that's how I've known you for a long time. And since then, you have gotten really into streaming, and you've really built up your stream and the community around your stream. And it's been really impressive to watch. So can you tell us a little bit about the sort of initial days?
Yeah, so I didn't mean to be a streamer. It's a funny thing. I got a capture card, to record, like, Splatoon shenanigans. I just wanted to record, like, silly things my friends and I were doing in private battles and stuff. And I just, the same day I got it, I hit the live button, and I was like, well, I'm streaming now. and I just kind of went with it, and I didn't ever mean to be a streamer. Like, for 2 years, I never put work into it. I streamed to maybe 200 followers, like an average of maybe 5 viewers every stream for 2 years. And then, last February, I decided to be like really serious about it and, build it up from there. And since then, my growth has been like huge. So,
nice.
I got over 1,000 followers in the past year. So it's
That's
growing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Especially from 200 followers in 2 years. So
Yeah.
You can't deny it. That's
really
some
impressive growth.
numbers and stuff. And that's part of it too. It's been really fun as you've been discovering these things. Like for anyone who came around and watched our extra live stream, Fuchsia was on there and streamed a lot of the Sims and some other stuff like that. And she was actually very helpful in helping us like figure out some of this stuff and tips and tricks with getting Twitch and everything set up for it. So that was a lot of fun to to get work with her on that. But so before we jump into more talking about Twitch streaming and everything, why don't you give us a little bit more background, like some of your favorite games to play, just what
Where
got you into
people
gaming?
can find you.
Yeah, where can people find you in all this to watch all your fun streams?
You can find me on Twitch at Fuchsia Rascal, twitch.tv/Fuchsia Rascal. I also do YouTube. That's the username is Fuchsia Plays on that. And just Twitter, I post a lot of Minecraft shenanigans on there. So my favorite, everyone knows, my favorite series is Animal Crossing. My favorite game is not Animal Crossing, which surprises people.
What?
That is surprising to me. I thought it was.
Me too. I've been bamboozled.
My favorite game, I always say my favorite series is Animal Crossing. My favorite game is Fantasy Life, which was a little RPG on the 3DS.
I've seen you stream that a handful of times.
Yeah, I streamed it last summer, and I really love that game a lot. And I cry every day that we do not have a proper sequel for it.
Well, now that you got the Animal Crossing one coming, now you can start,
maybe
turn
so.
all of your energy into like willing that into existence.
Yeah, I've always played Nintendo. I have a PS4 that I've turned on maybe 5 times, but I've always played Nintendo growing up, so I'm totally a Nintendo fangirl, and grew up playing Super Mario 3, countless hours, and right now I'm really into Minecraft, which I'm only 10 years late to that party, but...
Well, in your
We've
defense,
missed the bus on that one.
I mean, in your defense, Minecraft has not lost any relevancy within that 10 years, so it's not like you're really late to the party. It's still raging.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Animal Crossing, The Sims, a lot of sim games, really, is what I like to play.
And is that just because they're more of like a relaxing game to play, just easier to just kind of sit and like decompress from the day kind of a thing? Or just is it more just like the mechanics of it really just are what click with you and like what you like doing?
It's definitely a relaxing thing. I got really into them like when I just needed something to like just chill out with. So it's definitely that. And it's just nice to like load up a game and be like, I'm gonna like run around and water these flowers and just like not have like an objective. I'm really bad with objectives because like I'll go off on a million side quests, which is actually why I like Fantasy Life, because there are 333 side quests in that game and I've completed every single one of them.
Wow. How many hours do you think you've put into Fantasy Life?
Fantasy Life I've put about 300.
Oh, okay. So almost as many as there are side quests.
Maybe 350.
Wow.
300 on my main file, and then when I count like streaming it last summer, maybe 350.
Oh, very impressive. And in comparison, over the span of all of Animal Crossing, at your best estimate, how many hours is that?
I have no idea, honestly. Absolutely no idea, but I do know that I put over 3,500 into New Leaf.
Wow! Oh, that's amazing!
I don't know if there's a single game out there that I've even put 1,000 in.
No, I don't even think I've played 30... Well, that's not true. I've definitely played 3,500 hours of total gaming in my life. But
Yeah,
that's still very impressive.
But like spread over like 300 games.
So have you ever seen... I do follow you on Twitter, and I've seen a few of your streams, and I believe that you have had a very popular, at least in the past, Tumblr blog all about your Animal Crossing towns.
Yes.
And have you ever seen any of her towns in Animal Crossing?
And yeah, I've seen a few of them, I think, from
They're
some streams and stuff.
mind-blowingly, amazingly well crafted.
Well, and that's the thing that like I get why you're getting super into Minecraft and everything too, because I think in our Discord, or maybe it was on Twitter, you posted about a sandcastle you made like right when you were first getting into it.
Yeah.
And I just looked at that and it was immediately like, well,
Why should I even try?
Because whenever, especially like growing up and I would play with Legos, I would build a ship and it was basically just like an airplane or something. It was like a flat piece that I could make look like wings, and like I would put a seat on it with a steering wheel.
Yep, and you're like, good enough.
I'm like, this is great. This is all I needed to
It's
do.
minimalist design. You wouldn't get
See,
it.
that's funny because like I never got into Legos as a kid, and this has all been like since college. Like since in college I got The Sims, and I started. I like played a little of The Sims, but I mostly built in The Sims, and I just like I would build all these houses, and like when you turn on like certain cheats, you can really manipulate the game to like build realistic houses. So I got really into that, and then it's just expanded into these other games.
Have you ever seriously considered civil engineering as a career path? Because
No.
I feel like you would be amazing at it. You may have missed your calling on that one. It's not too late. Chicago needs your help. They have a terrible traffic problem.
So, so you talked about like at first you had the first like the 200 followers for a few years, and then now you've really started seeing the growth. So that's kind of the thing that like more of what I was very curious about and wanted to talk to you about is like what it's like. Like what steps did you start taking to really starting to grow that audience, and everything? Was it just putting more time into actually streaming, or was it starting to, be more active on social media, different things like that? And then or even tapping into like Animal Crossing Sims communities, like really if someone was looking to start streaming a game, like what would kind of be like your approach that you would say, kind of based on what you did?
So when I first started streaming, I didn't stream with growth in mind. When I first started streaming, I mostly streamed competitive Splatoon. That's what I did. But it was I streamed for the sake of my team, so we could go back and watch VODs later, do VOD reviews and stuff like that. Some people would come by and watch our scrims, and that was great, but I was mostly streaming for the team, so I wasn't looking to grow. I wasn't looking to, be a partnered streamer or anything. I just was doing this just because I was playing the game anyway. Why not?
Right.
So last February was when, I shifted my focus, and that was actually when I got my 3DS capture card, and I knew I wanted to stream New Leaf. I had been streaming the GameCube Animal Crossing, off and on for a while, but never super seriously or anything. But with New Leaf, with the 3DS capture card, I knew, I wanted to do something with that. And especially with having the solid foundation of my blog of the last 5 years, that gave me a foundation for people to come over and check out my streams. And from there, I knew a lot of people in the community. I did a lot of community building, and that's where a lot of the initial growth came from. The Animal Crossing community in particular, right now, or at least for the past year, because we've been so starved for a new game, it's a very close, tight-knit community on Twitch. You'll see the same names in every single Animal Crossing stream, and there's only a handful of us that stream the game because the 3DS, getting a capture card for the 3DS was so hard and so expensive.
Yeah,
so,
how do you? Side question: how do you even do that? With the since it's a handheld device, it doesn't necessarily have as many in and out ports or HDMI outputs and all that. Obviously,
you can't even do it anymore. There was a company in Japan that you had to send your 3DS to Japan, and they would install a capture card on the motherboard of the 3DS and then send it back to you. That company went out of business because Japan made a law that it was illegal to modify consoles. So they went out of business in February or March of this past year. So you can't even do it anymore.
So now you're really okay, Animal Crossing Switch, let's go. Because
but yeah. So if anything happens to my 3DS before March, I'm screwed.
So I have a question then.
But yeah, so a lot of community building is really, really important. Networking, we don't like to use the word networking because it's kind of a cold term, but building communities.
Businessy.
Yeah, building communities with other streamers who have the same vibe that you're going for, the same kind of community that you're going for, actually building friendships with those people and going from there. So that's huge for Twitch. That's what you have to do. And I mean, at the same time, you're building these friendships that are great, even without growth in mind. So
right, because I'm sure, like you said, there's not that many Animal Crossing streamers out there to begin with. And so once you start getting connected with all of them and talking and, becoming friends and kind of you build your own somewhat community that somewhat, I would imagine, builds off of each other. Like, you know, viewers of one of your friends' streamers will, when they're not streaming, will come watch you because they've heard and interacted with you and all that stuff. So yeah, I totally get that. That's an interesting way of going about it.
Yeah, I think like there are probably 10 of us who stream New Leaf on a regular basis, and we talk to each other all the time. We have a server just for us to talk about like what's going on in the community, and like we've been brainstorming ideas for like the new game and stuff. And so we definitely keep each other in the loop, and it's been really nice.
Man, only 10. So yeah, that's good too, because then you got a nice little niche market there to go after also.
Yeah,
so
I think like more people streamed it like 4, 5, 6 years ago, but at this point there aren't many of us. But there's still like a really, really passionate fan base that
awesome
likes to watch the streams. So
that sounds like fantastic, like market positioning for when March 2020 does actually roll around, because you're going to be considered one of, I mean, you already are, but even in a bigger context than that, you're going to be like the go-to person for Animal Crossing New Horizons streaming. I can't wait for that day to come.
Because the Switch is much more accessible for streaming, there's going to be a lot of people streaming it. It'll be very different than our little New Leaf streams.
But then again, like I said, you're already positioned. Like you've already got the audience. You've already got like you. I'm sure you and the other streamers who have been sticking with it and everything will have a much better leg up on everybody else who's going to try to jump in and be new at it.
Yeah.
So as your viewer base has grown over time, what are some of the ways that you moderate your own community while you're on stream? So of course you've got the chat whenever you're streaming. How do you keep track of that, and what do you decide what you're going to respond to and what you're not? And I guess a side question to that is, how do you actually moderate your chat yourself, or do you have people to help you mod?
A little bit of both. I have 3 mods. They help me more with behind the scenes stuff than actually like moderating my chat. Thankfully, the Animal Crossing community in particular is really, really nice. And
I can't imagine that there's much trolling coming from Animal Crossing.
I don't need a whole lot of moderation in my chat. Not a whole lot. Like, things will come up because even in the Animal Crossing tag, like, you'll still get a troll here or there. So sometimes they have to do stuff, but mostly they help me with like the logistics of running a stream. Like they actually remember to shout out other streamers when they come and raid me. They remember all my commands. They remember all that stuff. They keep the chat going. So my mods do a lot of work. I don't know how I would function without them. And it's also like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like, I just changed my schedule and we went back and forth. Like, does this work? Do you think this will be a good time? Do you think this will be a good day? Like, what day should we axe instead? And like, so they help with a lot of that stuff. I do a lot of modding my own chat. They actually complain sometimes that I'm too fast at modding my own chat. Just because I did used to mod for a partnered streamer, so I've got those things like down pat because a partnered streamer, like her chat was going really fast. So like I'm good at modding, but like when I'm playing a game also, like it's nice to have those mods on hand so I can focus on the game if I need to, if they can handle that. But mostly like I try to respond to everything in chat. Sometimes I skip over things, but I try to respond to everything, and it's sometimes I get behind on chat, but I eventually catch up. But like people are there for the community, they're there to chat more than the gameplay. Like they enjoy the gameplay, they initially come in for the gameplay, but they really like the community, they really like to talk. So talking with the chat is what people really appreciate for my streams in particular. Some streams are there for the gameplay, we're there for the community. So I try to read everything and respond to everything and make people feel like they're really welcome there.
Awesome. And I did have one question kind of when you were talking about you said you changed your schedule. So what goes into that? Like determining what days, times, and then also what is your schedule so everybody listening can know when to watch you.
So my schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 o'clock Central, 8 p.m. Central. But it used to be Thursday instead of Monday. And it was just like a weird kind of, it was Tuesday and then a break, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a whole chunk, and then another break. So this way is more like evenly split up through the week. And there were other factors like other Animal Crossing streamers, if they were streaming that day and that time, like, do we want to split the viewership or do we want to like, just like support them? Because I like being in my friends' streams as well. Like, I like to hang out in my friends' streams in my downtime. So like, I was like, I never get to hang out in this streamer's streams because they stream the same time as me. And so like, it's a little selfish move, but I'm like, I was like, I miss hanging out in my friend's stream. So do you think we should move, like, plus other reasons, do you think we should move the stream day? So we just moved to Monday. Yesterday was our first Monday stream. So I was nervous about moving it because I haven't streamed on a Monday in over a year, but people got the memo. So
nice.
It
So
was
you
okay.
still had good
It was
attendance.
okay. Yeah.
Great. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you say then, in a perfect world, you know, most of us have day jobs. A lot of streamers, even full-time ones, have a job on the side. So if your schedule was totally open, based on what you think the optimal times to stream are, would you change everything, or do you think that you would still keep
Yes.
like evening hours? Oh, you change how much?
I would love to be able to stream during the afternoon.
Oh,
And the
okay.
reason for that is I actually have a lot of European viewers who never catch my streams. They watch my VODs after the fact. They always, like, if you go on my stream, if you look at, like, my past videos, you'll see, like, the view counts, like, pretty high. And that's because I have a lot of European viewers who just can't make it to my streams when I stream. And I can only stream when I can stream because of my job. So if I was able to, I absolutely would stream during the afternoon. So then I could have, like, the people who come to my streams right now would be able to watch, and then also my European viewership would be able to come too. So
Yeah, of course.
definitely something I wish I could do. I was actually, I was up for a job a couple months ago that would have allowed me to change my schedule, and I was really looking forward to it, but unfortunately I didn't get it, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, so
It's okay. But yeah, so I would like to stream like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day. So then in your future plans for your stream going forward, March 2020, are you going to quit your day job the day New Horizons comes out and just be like, peace out, I've got bigger and brighter things.
I'm out.
I'm out.
No, but I am definitely taking some time off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Nice, like a solid week
Yeah, you
or
gotta-
something like that. Just be like,
I think it comes out on a Friday. I'm not sure because I forget days of the week as it is, but I think it comes out on a Friday, and then I can just take Friday off and have Saturday, Sunday, maybe take Monday off. But no. Other than that, no, I am not in any position to quit my day job. Plus, I like my day job, so.
Fair
good,
enough.
too.
Fair enough.
oh, no,
Go
sorry.
ahead,
No,
good
I was just,
sir.
I was
No,
just
it's
going to
your
comment on that
turn.
too. Just being like, no, I have the same struggle. Like doing stuff, wanting to do more stuff on the podcast and everything like that. And just, you
Yeah.
know, I have my day job, which makes it busy, gets busy and all that stuff. I really like it too. But still, there are the days when I'm very much like, all I want to do today is work on some new things, maybe make on some new graphics or different stuff like that. And I just want to be able to push it out. about how I wish I could do the same thing. Yeah, just quit today and just do this all the time.
Quick stall.
Yeah, I definitely struggle with not having enough hours in the day to do everything I wanted to. I'm pretty happy with like how many hours I stream, but if I had like 8 more hours in the day, I would be putting way more work into YouTube, which is, my stream is in a good place right now, and I'm growing pretty steadily with my stream, and now I want to focus on like getting my YouTube up. I just restarted my YouTube channel, so I have a lot of work to do to get back to those numbers, and I just like, I want to work on that, and I'm like, I don't have the time for it. It's so hard. So that's why I got a new laptop, so I can edit videos on the go
Nice.
when I have like 10, 15 free minutes. So
just as a video editor, what software are you using? I'm just curious.
I'm using Sony Vegas Pro.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've heard of that one. I use Premiere.
Yeah,
I use Vegas.
I grew up with Macs, and
So did
I really miss Final Cut Pro, but Sony Vegas is the only software I found that like kind of gels with me on Windows.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I grew up on Macs. I actually we were talking about it a little bit before we started recording, but yeah, I just switched to the PC now, so I gave up on it. But yeah, I loved Final Cut Pro, and especially the earlier versions. After they got to X, I didn't like it as much, but that's just me.
Yeah, my desktop that I stream on is like my first PC.
Nice.
Because streaming on a Mac is just horrendous and not recommended.
When we were trying to set up for Extra Life, I kept being like, Fuchsia, how do I do this? I don't understand. And you'd be like, you have to do this. I'm like, well, that's on PC.
I started off streaming on my MacBook, and then I built this desktop, and this is my first Windows computer, really, and it's been a struggle. But I'm always like, the first year I was like, I know how to do this on a Mac, how do I do this on Windows?
I know.
So then I kind of have a question along what you were saying of being happy with your hours right now. I mean, even with that being the case, most people don't ever have fully perfect days every day all of the time. So are there ever times where you're thinking, I've got a stream scheduled for tonight, but you're really not feeling it? And if and when that happens, how do you deal with that?
I will actually say that doesn't happen often for me. It's happened a few times where I just post in my Discord and I post on Twitter. I'm like, I just don't feel up to streaming today. I just need a day to myself. And my community is centered around like self-care and mental health, and you'll see me streaming under the mental health tag on Twitter, on Twitch, because like that's a core part of why I got into Animal Crossing. So I talk about it a lot, and I will absolutely be upfront. Like, I need to just take a night off, or even if I'm like, I'm just really tired. I don't cancel streams very often at all. I try not to. But when I do, everyone's just like, you don't take any time off. Go ahead. I did take this past week off, like entirely. I didn't stream at all this past week because I had a huge project due at work. So I told everyone ahead of time, and I was like, I'm not going to be streaming this week. I'm going to be working long hours at work, and I'm just not going to be around. And so like, just if you need a day, just communicate. I personally like having a schedule and sticking to it, because that keeps me on track. And if I know like I have to be here for my stream at this time, then that keeps me like really like on track for my entire life.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
But sometimes things happen. Like about a month ago, I had to cancel stream because I was stuck out in the suburbs longer than I planned on.
The suburbs.
And I didn't get home until like 10 o'clock, and I started streaming at 8. And I didn't get home until 10. I was like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just keep everyone up to date with Twitter and Discord, and everyone's always pretty receptive about it.
That's awesome. So then when you're actually thinking about what you're going to stream for the week, do you actually plan out each individual stream of like, okay, I'm going to play this game for this amount of time and then I'm going to do this? And within the game, do you go into it thinking that you already have objectives that you're going to want to approach on your stream? Or do you tend to take a more kind of, not freewheeling, but a little bit more of a relaxed approach to it?
Well, I mostly just stream Animal Crossing. So, I used to stream The Sims, and I will be adding The Sims back into my stream schedule. So basically, like, going forward as of this week, 3 of my 4 streams a week will be Animal Crossing. And the 4th one, the Tuesday night one, will be my variety night, which will be a lot of The Sims because I am ready to get back into it with the new pack. And then there's also a game called Littlewood that
I've never heard of that one.
I think it's still in beta.
Oh.
But one of my friends gifted me a copy of it, and he was like, he was streaming it, and he was like, of everyone I know, you need to play this game. so I'm gonna be streaming that, and I have to play a scary game on stream because my community unlocked that goal. So
Oh no!
What you gonna play?
Yeah, what are you gonna pick?
Okay, so to preface this, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, and the monsters in Minecraft scare me.
Yeah, like, you don't strike me as the type to enjoy scary things very much.
No. So, like, I scream a lot already playing Minecraft. So, I'm going to be playing a game called Oxenfree.
Ooh.
I've heard of that one.
I'm not sure I have.
It's supposed to be more like spooky rather than scary, but my friend recommended it to me because they were like, yeah, you'll be scared by it. But it's supposed to be like a really good story too. So.
Okay, very cool. So what are some of the other long-term goals then that you have for your stream that are waiting to be unlocked? What's next?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have like really long-term goals, but I don't have any like goals that I'm like actively working on right now. I have goals like I have certain numbers I want to hit by the time New Horizons comes out, basically. Like, I want to hit a certain average viewership, and I want to have a certain number of followers. But those are like things I'm working towards. If I don't hit them, it's okay because I'm still making progress towards them, kind of thing. I don't have any like solid goals right now, other than I would like to get my YouTube subscriber count back up to where it was before I restarted my channel. But other than that, like, this summer is definitely like take it as it goes, just because the last few months have completely surprised me. Like I gained like 200 followers in like a month, 1 month.
Damn.
Nice.
And like I doubled my subscriber count. Well, no, I 1 month quadrupled my subscriber count.
Whoa!
Because we did a subathon to unlock the last emote slot.
Okay.
But overall, like I've doubled my subscriber count, and like it's sitting at double every single month of what it used to be. So like
that's amazing.
That's really cool.
It surprises me. So like right now I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna ride this out for a little while and then see what we'll look at in September, kind of. So, right now, like, I'm just working towards getting, like, I would really like to get 25 to 30 average viewers. And I've been hitting that some streams.
Nice.
Some streams I haven't. So, that's what I'm working towards right now. But,
Very cool,
because
very cool.
the long-term goal is to get partner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which
But
what's that? I
that's-
know affiliate is the four things like, but how many? What's the like concurrent followers or average
affiliate
followers
is
you have to
like
do that?
stream for 7 days, stream 10 hours, I think, and 3 average viewers. Oh
Okay.
no, it's stream for 7 days, 50 followers, and 3 average viewers.
Okay, and so what's
And then-
what's partner? I'm assuming that has to be
Partner
pretty big
is stream for so many hours in a month. I want to say 25 hours in a month, and 12 unique days in the month. This is all in a 30-day period.
Oh,
It's
okay.
25 hours, 12 unique days, and 75 average viewers.
Woo.
I
which
think
is-
that's pretty accomplishable.
Which is the
though.
hardest
Oh, yeah.
one. The 75 average viewers is the hard one.
That's crazy that it's such a. I mean, I get it because they need to make sure that the partners are a very
Yeah.
like selective group, but still, like that's a big jump from 3 to 7.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
Yeah.
I think you can do it though.
They've,
Oh,
they've like improved the affiliate program so much. They've given so many like perks to affiliates that there are definitely benefits to getting partner, but you're not missing out on a whole lot by being affiliate for a really long time. So
Nice, very cool. So, what would be then like if somebody was like, I want to start streaming, I want to do Twitch, like what would be like equipment things that you would say like you need this? I mean, obviously, it kind of depends on what if you're going to do it based on like computer or console or 3DS if you have that capability.
yeah.
Before that what company went under, but more of just like what would you say focus on first? I guess even if it's not even equipment, but just like what are the important things that you would say to someone who's wanting to start streaming?
I would say start small. Don't go out and buy everything at once because it might not be for you. You might not like it. I know some people who like went out and bought like $3,000 computers and all the peripherals and then streamed like twice and didn't like it. So start small, start with what you have. Or like small upgrades, like you might need a capture card. If you primarily play console games, you'll need a capture card. Don't go out and get a 4K capture card. Get one of the cheaper ones that's like $150 instead of $400.
Right.
So I would say like capture card, obviously, if you're streaming consoles, your computer specs depend on what you have and what you can upgrade. If you're streaming from a laptop, that's less flexible than a desktop. But like a good quality mic, it doesn't have to be anything super fancy, but audio quality is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to listen to someone who has a crackly mic or I can barely hear them. I won't stick around in those streams, and I know a lot of people won't. Like, audio quality is more important than visual quality, if you believe
I
it.
absolutely agree.
So a good quality mic, it doesn't even have to be like I have a standalone mic, but I started with a headset, but the headset had a good clear mic. So, and it wasn't even like, I think it was like a $50 headset. It wasn't even expensive.
Was it the Turtle Beach?
Like, what?
Was it the Turtle Beach? 60p?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I don't remember what it was, but it was just like some random brand off Amazon. But and then like if you want a camera, you can get good deals on the cameras. You don't need a camera. Having a face cam might help you initially, but there are plenty of streamers who are successful and don't have face cams.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all dependent on like your comfort level, what you want. And then if you do have a camera, like plenty of lighting. So, like plenty of good lighting.
So it's not all shadowy and dark and gloomy looking
Yeah.
when you're trying to play a fun, bright game.
Are you gonna make it shadowy and gloomy though when you play your scary game?
I mean,
You
if
have to.
if that's the aesthetic you're going for, sure.
You need like a black cloak, like a hooded cloak, and you need like candles lit in the background and no other lighting. I think that's the aesthetic you should go for.
But even like, I wouldn't even when I started streaming, I didn't have the capability to have a face cam. I had a camera, but the way my setup was, I had a really, really janky setup. And I had, like, I played off of the TV, which was in front of me, and it was, like, the capture card was connected to the desktop, which was to the side of me, and then my laptop was in front of me, so I could read chat. And it was just like, it was terrible, but I made it work. And I had a camera, but I didn't have like a way to have my camera on me. So I put it on my cats. And that's why to this day, I still have a cat cam.
That's awesome.
Like, it's not on the stream primarily, but I switch to it every once in a while and give the cats treats on the stream, and they really like that. So
I cannot believe that we have not heard a peep out of Felix and Ginny or Avocado. Where are they, Fuchsia?
they're in the living room.
When I think of Fuchsia streams, I expect kitties.
I
So
locked
don't
them
get
out.
all needy.
Well, Felix isn't here, but she'll start crying in about a half an hour.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up by then. No.
Kitty.
She starts crying. She starts meowing at like 9 for dinner because I feed them at 10, and I don't know. She starts reminding me an hour ahead of time that I need to feed her.
Cats like their schedule.
They do.
But the others are in the living room. Yeah.
As we kind of come to the close of the episode then, I wanted to kind of ask for your input and see if you would like to close out by talking about one of our favorite mutual topics that has had a lot of news recently, and that would, of course, be Animal Crossing New Horizon. What are your hopes and dreams for it? Or, alternatively, is there anything that we haven't covered about streaming that you would rather mention?
As far as New Horizons goes, I'm really excited for it. I am really excited. I have loved almost everything that we've seen of the game so far, and honestly, I know we haven't seen much of the game, but everything we've seen, I love, aside from two things. But
Wait, what are the two things?
Yeah, what are the two things?
Yeah,
I'm
what are
curious.
they?
The two things are not gameplay-wise. Well, kind of gameplay. I'm very disappointed that we can only have one town per console.
Oh, I see.
Because
Oh.
they
that would be
changed
limiting.
how the game saves on the Switch for New Horizons, specifically opposed to every other Switch game, so that you can have up to 8 profiles on the Switch, but each one of those profiles is a character in the same town.
Oh, okay.
And I have 7 copies of New Leaf. I have a lot of towns. I wanted multiple copies. I wanted multiple towns in New Horizons. Especially because I had these plans I was going to have one town for stream, one town for a YouTube Let's Play series, and then one town for writing guides in, so I can just like time travel recklessly and just like go to what I need, like what part of the year that I need to write a guide for. So I was really looking forward to that. And now I have to reconfigure how I'm going to do everything.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
would the current only solution to that be to buy multiple copies of New Horizons?
No.
No.
The solution to that is to buy multiple Switches.
Oh, well, that's
no.
prohibitive.
Because the game doesn't save to the cartridge, it saves to the console.
Oh, no.
That's
Yeah.
whack.
That is
Yeah.
very unfortunate. I
Yeah.
can understand that being really frustrating, especially for multi-towners like yourself.
And the other thing was, this whole time I'm like, okay, well, since day one that the Switch was announced, I was like, there's going to be an Animal Crossing Edition Switch. There's going to be a limited edition Switch that's Animal Crossing. I'm going to get that. And obviously, like, I already own a Switch. I needed to own a Switch for Splatoon. So I was like, when they said how the save system was going to work, it was like, well, okay, I'm going to get an Animal Crossing Edition Switch. So I'll have 2 Switches, and then I can at least have 2 towns, one for streaming and doing the YouTube Let's Play, and one for writing guides.
Mm-hmm.
And now they came out with the Switch Lite, or, if you will, the Light Switch. And I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with an Animal Crossing Edition Switch Lite, which doesn't work for me because it can't be docked, so I can't stream and record it. So
Right.
Yeah.
And and since Japan passed that law, there's not going to be a company that you can send your Switch to for them to put a capture card on.
Nintendo is personally screwing me over.
All right, so we start a petition
God.
right now.
Can we write to Doug Bowser? Who do we get in contact with?
Let's see how much pull Reggie still has.
Yeah.
The other complaint that I have about New Horizons is that there won't be cloud saves.
Oh.
They are specifically disabling cloud saves for Animal Crossing because they don't want people manipulating time to cheat or something like that. And
so wait, how
like,
would they even do that?
Because there are ways to duplicate items in New Leaf, by turning the Wi-Fi off at a very specific moment when someone else is in your town dropping items. So they're trying to prevent some other way of that happening, of duplicating items by not having cloud saves. To which I say, Animal Crossing isn't a competitive game. Who cares?
Yeah.
But it's whereas I put 3,500 hours into New Leaf, if I lost one of my towns, I would be devastated, especially since it's a time-based game where I would have to wait an entire year to get those event items again. And the way Animal Crossing is set up is that you can never have the exact same experience. Even if you try. Even if you move in the same villagers, you'll get a different map and stuff. So I'm pretty upset about that.
So even though then that this Nintendo Switch Online service offers cloud backup saves and stuff like that, that will not be an option for New Horizons.
They disabled it for Splatoon. They disabled it for Pokemon. Pokemon, I believe. Possibly Smash Brothers. I'm not sure about Smash because I don't do Smash, but and they said that there won't be cloud saves for New Horizons. So.
That does superbly suck.
There is a petition out there. I don't know if Nintendo will pay attention to it, but last I checked, it had over 2,500 signatures on it. With alternatives, just give us cloud, just let us back up once a month. I'd be fine with that. I'd rather lose a month of progress than my entire town.
Yeah,
right.
for real.
But we'll see if Nintendo actually pays attention to that. And I don't know. But yeah, those are the only 2 things I'm upset about for New Horizons. Everything else I'm really excited about.
Could you maybe be able to, if you saved it to the SD card, make backups of the SD card itself? I
don't know. I don't know how the saves work, but I know you couldn't do that with New Leaf, with the 3DS. So
we need answers. This is ridiculous.
Mm.
Listen to the petitions of the people.
Yes.
Because they know what they want. So when is it's actually coming out in March 2020? Do we know the day?
March 20th, 2020.
Right. And then it was that's a delay, right? Because we thought it was
it's a delay. I mean, it was supposed to come out in 2019, but there was no formal date, so it's been pushed to
they
spring
just said 2019. They didn't give any information other than that. So, honestly, a lot of us expected there would be a delay just because we got no information whatsoever. So we expected a delay. I expected at E3 that we would only get news of a delay. We wouldn't get all the information about the game that we did. So I was pretty happy, even though we got a delay. I was pretty happy with we got all this gameplay too, and we got really exciting gameplay, and I'm so excited for it. So
well, and at least too, it was only until March and not holiday.
That's
2020
the other thing.
or something like that.
I was expecting it to come out October or November, when they first announced it last September. I was expecting it to come out October or November. So from there, March isn't a huge time away from that. Yeah. So
you basically get done with all your holiday travel and it's March.
And then it's March.
So it's no time at all.
Yeah.
Well, So this has been an incredibly fun discussion, like really getting to dig deep into Twitch streaming and what it's like building a community and building your brand really as a streamer and what type of games you want to do. Thank you so much, Fuchsia, for coming on. This has been a ton of fun. And so one more time before we go, where can everybody find you and when are you streaming?
You can basically find me everywhere under Fuchsia Rascal, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. And I stream Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. And then I have YouTube videos at least once a week.
Awesome. Well, we'll be sure to put all that stuff in the description and all that so people have quick links and all that stuff to be able to find you pretty easily. And so once again, Fuchsia, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a blast, and I'm glad we finally were able to have this conversation with you and everything. But before we go, though, we do have to do Soundtrack Spotlight, which fitting with the theme, I've decided we'll do the main theme music from Animal Crossing New Leaf. So we'll be featuring that after.
A wonderful tune. Very good choice.
So it was composed by Kazumi Totaka, and you'll be listening to that again. It's the main theme from Animal Crossing New Leaf, so stick around after the close to listen to that, which is now. That concludes this episode of Team Chat Podcast, everybody. Once again, my name is Jerrett Wilson, and I'm joined by Rachel Mogan.
Adios.
And through the power of the internet, our good friend Fuchsia Rascal. We'll see you all next time. Listen, stick around for the song.